What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about the breaking news in regards to the COD 2023 Alpha, new details about the reveal event, plus even more. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and also as a reminder, we got plenty of brand new articles going up over on dkdynamite.com, expanding on all the coverage you're already seeing here on this channel, and we also have plenty of tweets going up over on Detonated's Twitter, covering every single Call of Duty game mode. Earlier today, I did a little bit of a live stream breaking down the brand new Homelander pack inside of COD 2.0, also turned all of that into a video which you guys can check out with the link down below in this video's description. That pack is definitely stacked. But as of a couple of days ago, Sledgehammer did go ahead and confirm that their last featured playlist update for Vanguard is now live. Additionally, double player, weapon, and operator XP are now active permanently. They left in no limit shipment, small zone blitz, 1v1 shipment, small map mayhem plus hardcore, all out blitz, and even arms race. Now, if you guys are like, wait, DK, why are we talking about Vanguard? I honestly believe they're phasing out support for Vanguard for a reason. Sledgehammer is preparing to fully go ahead and market COD 2023, which is a project they're apparently leading, and I think they want to go ahead and make sure that all attention goes into that game and not their previous installment. So hopefully that's clear. But for those out there that still play Vanguard, that's great for those that want to level up in the Warzone 1 era of Call of Duty titles, because you can get permanent XP for just playing that game. And like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, I think Sledgehammer is for sure ready to move on fully from Vanguard, even though they kind of already did after Season 5 of that game cycle. Now, not too long ago, Insider Gaming did go ahead and reveal that apparently August 1st is the current penciled date for the reveal event of the next Call of Duty title. Apparently that event's going to happen within Warzone 2.0, but no other details were provided on exactly how that event was going to work. I mean, looking at where August 1st is on a calendar, at least that's the exact day before the start of Season 5. Now, I could totally see them ending off Season 4 with a bit of a bang, but I feel like if anything, it makes sense to space out the reveal event inside of Warzone with the launch of Season 5, just to make sure that both events or releases get time in the spotlight. I feel like they wouldn't want to really go ahead and overshadow the marketing and release of a whole new season of content for MW2 by revealing the next Call of Duty title. But if that reveal event is tied directly into the post-launch narrative with MW2, then I could see why they want to do that close to the launch of Season 5, if again the cutscenes or story implications are connected. That may be what they're going with here. But as of a few days ago, one of the usual suspects on Twitter that posts early Call of Duty info did go ahead and provide the first actual details of what the reveal event will entail for MW3. So spoiler warning, as they wrote, the rumored MW3 reveal event will have you helping Shadow Company capture missile silos on Al Mazrah while defending those silos from enemies. You will be invading a bunker located under observatory in search for a gas canister, which you will exfil with. And this person's also claiming that that event won't be happening until close to the mid-Season 5 update, which if that's the case, that's what, early September, first or second week? I don't think that all makes sense to happen on August 1st, since Season 5 Reloaded is nowhere near August 1st at all, and Season 5 hasn't even come out yet, nor has it even been marketed. So I think if the reveal event was actually planned for August 1st, at the very end of Season 4 Reloaded, they probably would have marketed or teased that by now, or maybe would have released a bit of a snippet of whatever the story implications are at the end of Raid Episode 4. But on top of that, other insiders online have claimed that this event will actually be happening within DMZ, which I think is actually a smarter approach instead of regular Warzone. You guys might disagree with that, but if anything, DMZ is furthering the narrative quite a bit for Modern Warfare 2, so I totally see them squeezing in whatever this event is within that mode. But maybe for the sake of having as many players as possible in a single lobby, they'll probably do it in Warzone instead. I can totally see this being like a separate playlist for DMZ for a limited time, whether it's a day or two. That would make the most sense to me, but considering the story implications surrounding Shadow Company, the apparent return of Graves in Season 5, this makes total sense to happen during the 5th season of Modern Warfare 2, not the 4th. Now, to build on top of this, and again, we have quite a bit to get through here in this video, so check timestamps down below if you want to kind of cycle around from topic to topic. The internal alpha for COD 2023 also ended up leaking out via the PlayStation database. So yeah, it's definitely hype season and league season for new Call of Duty, as we see every single summer. The internal alpha is apparently codenamed Hailstrom. I think the codename of COD 2023 is just Project Jupiter, and you know, every COD has its codename. For Cold War, it was Zeus, and the internal alpha or playtest for that was the Red Door. Everybody remembers what that was like many years ago, back during 2020. But for MW3 this time around, this alpha is not a public one, meaning that this is not something that's going to end up getting released for everyone to download on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. This is the internal playtest just for developers, but you never know, there could end up being an exclusive alpha period, considering that Sony has the Call of Duty deal for just one more title. That's Modern Warfare 3. That's again separate from what just got signed earlier today today, which is them extending their Call of Duty contract for another 10 years. That means that new Call of Duty titles can still be launched on PlayStation despite Microsoft taking over. That's separate from the exclusivity deal when it comes to early bonuses, game modes being locked behind PlayStation ownership, or early alpha periods, exclusive XP events. That's all separate. So with Modern Warfare 3 being the last game that's going to have PlayStation exclusivity to an extent, I can totally see them going out with a bang and doing an exclusive alpha, whether it's gunfight or whatever other mode they have planned that'll be available for PS4 and PS5 for just 1 weekend or something. Modern Warfare 2 didn't get that, but it's totally possible MW3 ends up getting that. And with that, looking at the other key dates from Insider Gaming, we do know that there's going to be campaign early access, multiplayer beta weekends, a full launch, of course, November the 10th, and Season 1 begins at some point in early December. Those dates could be subject to change, keep that in mind, but maybe they'll squeeze an alpha in at some point before those beta periods. You never know. Now, as I was editing this video, gameplay also surfaced of what appears to be Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer, and it was posted from the same individual, Bob Network UK, who has been posting early and spicy details about the new COD as of earlier today. Now, the gameplay, of course, can't be shown on screen for obvious copyright reasons, but it does appear that we're going to be seeing a blue color scheme to the game. Again, totally subject to change. They could end up changing that completely when the game does release, but it appears to have a blue color scheme. So that would be cool if, to match the DK channel, to match the old detonated branding, we could have a blue color scheme for the brand new Modern Warfare release. But again, in the gameplay, it looks like we have a UAV, cruise missile, and attack helicopter ready for use. Could totally be different when the game ends up dropping, unless they want to keep all the streaks or most of them roughly the same, since it is apparently a direct sequel to Modern Warfare 2 2022. So we don't really know much from that, but Bob Network did also post some information about the vest that'll apparently be in the game's multiplayer. He went ahead and said a gunner vest, 2 primaries with max ammo at spawn at the cost of no lethals or tacticals. There will also be an overkill vest, a grenader one, an infantry one, a scout, and even a tactical vest also featured in the game, and that apparently a classic minimap should be working in the game's multiplayer. Again, I just find it a little hard to believe that they'll go against what Infinity Ward just did with MW2 multiplayer, but if they do, then so be it. I'll take classic minimap by all means, but I'm curious to see what similarities and differences that MW3 has in comparison to MW2, which just came out. And looking at the word Hailstrom alone, people out there are predicting that this could mean there's going to be a big emphasis on dynamic weather inside of the game's campaign or multiplayer, or whatever other third mode gets featured, whether it's a zombies or a DMZ hybrid, whatever that could be. Maybe there will be an emphasis on dynamic weather, dynamic map events, or dynamic environments. We'll have to wait and see how that ends up working, but considering this alpha did get found, there's probably gonna be a lot of info posted about the new COD really often, so I'll try to break everything down and round it up in the safest way that I can for you guys here on the channel, of course. Some mock-up images were posted of apparently what Modern Warfare 3's alpha does look like. I'm a little confused though with the mock-up images, because I could have sworn these images were posted many months ago as a bit of a mock-up for Modern Warfare 2's UI and other concept images that people put together out of just pure interest of an overhaul to Modern Warfare 2's layout, but apparently this is what Modern Warfare 3 is going to look like to an extent. You could expect likely a bit of a cleaner UI than what Modern Warfare 2 has, but still something in range or in the ballpark of what Modern Warfare 2 already offers, considering this whole cross progression and big integration with every new COD moving forward on the same engine. They're likely going to have all CODs feeling or looking roughly the same in terms of UI, not necessarily gameplay, but UI wise. Could expect a lot of similarities to also fit in with the whole integration that's happening with Warzone Mobile this fall. So we'll have to wait and see exactly how the UI looks, but what I will say is the Modern Warfare 2's UI has drastically improved since the game originally came out, so you can expect Modern Warfare 3 to come out with a much smoother, cleaner, and more intuitive UI than Modern Warfare 2 originally came out with. But one of the biggest reports that came out because of this internal alpha that was found is that apparently the Ninja perk is going to be returning in Modern Warfare 3. The perks you use reportedly are based on gear that you wear. So for example, if you wear a certain pair of boots, you'll have Ninja. If you wear a certain pair of gloves, you'll have faster reload speeds. If you have a certain helmet on, then you'll have other abilities. It's kind of similar to the way the perk system worked over in Advanced Warfare, where the perks that you had in that game were kind of determined and represented by the gear that you put on your operator, which I think is kind of cool, but this is taking it to another level that we didn't see back in Advanced Warfare, and is also building upon what they were establishing with Vanguard, which is kind of having a traditional perk system, but still trying to merge that with what was established in Modern Warfare 19, Cold War, and now what looks like Modern Warfare 2. So you'll probably end up getting a traditional perk system inside of this new COD, but again, this is all subject to change, because right now this is in the alpha build of the game itself. Things could drastically be changed for the beta or even final launch build in the next couple of months. You never know. Infinity Ward could step in at any point and say, you know what, Sledgehammer, let's not end up doing a perk system that you guys want to do, or a traditional one. Let's do something more on par with what MW2 just established, considering that this game is going to apparently be called Modern Warfare 3, a direct direct sequel to the game that just came out, let's not have polar opposite systems in a game that comes out just 1 year after the one that we just made. Maybe they'll end up interfering with how the systems work. I also want to remind you guys that Sledgehammer is pretty lenient when it comes to Call of Duty updates. I mean, just like how Treyarch handles it, they'll usually stick to their guns about certain gameplay decisions, but I have no problem overhauling things if something just isn't working out. They want to make sure the community is happy, and the way I'll put it is that they're a lot less stubborn when it comes to how they want to update the game's multiplayer or certain mechanics and certain features. They're a lot less stubborn with things like that, so would not be shocked if Modern Warfare 3 does have things that you guys were hoping to see in Modern Warfare 2. But the last thing I'll say is that I really hope this doesn't turn out to be a Modern Warfare 19 situation where, because of leaks, whether it's from insiders, leaked alphas, whatever the case is, I hope it doesn't become a situation where everything possible gets revealed early prior to marketing, to where it kind of ruins the hype and momentum for the game's launch. Modern Warfare 19 had a massive launch and was very successful despite the leaks, but what I'm saying is that with a game like MW3, there's a lot of trust that has to be won back by the studio because of how Vanguard went, because of how MW2's reception has kind of been lately. So let's just hope that people's expectations don't get too high if the leaks sound too good, to the point where it ends up hurting the post-launch for the game itself. I really hope that we just get very clear and concise communication to the point where we get pretty good build-up to the game's launch, and then you continue that momentum, continue that transparency with the community for the remainder of the game's cycle. We don't want things as silly as subtitles, attachments, maps, all of that leaking out prior to release, because that could definitely hurt the community reception when it really shouldn't. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on the first gameplay images popping up for the brand new Call of Duty, as we probably all expected? What are your thoughts on the current alpha, which is codenamed Hailstrom? And also, what are your thoughts on everything else we discussed? Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.